House come to order. Chair recognizes Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, the House Committee has returned and is ready to report.
Chair recognizes Joan Butler, Representative Grassley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Mr. Speaker, the committee to notify the Senate that the House is ready to receive it in joint convention has completed its duty.
Thank you. The report is received and the committee is discharged. Chair recognizes Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the Senate, the Secretary of the Senate, and the honorable members of the Senate have arrived in the House chamber.
You will escort the President of the Senate to the Speaker's station, the Secretary to the Chief Clerk's station, and the Senators will be seated among their respective representatives.
The joint convention will be in order. Good morning, everybody. The chair recognizes the senator from Potawatomi, Senator Gronstal.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the roll call be dispensed with and that the President be authorized to declare a quorum present.
You have heard the motion of the senator from Potawatomi, Senator Gronstal. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. The motion prevails. The chair declares a quorum present and the joint convention duly organized. The chair recognizes the senator from Potawatomi, Senator Gronstal.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that a committee of 6, 3 members from the Senate and 3 members from the House, be appointed to escort Governor Terry Branstad to the House chamber.
You have heard the motion of the senator from Potawatomi, Senator Gronstal. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, say no. The motion prevails, and the chair announces the appointment of the senator from Jackson, Senator Bowman, the senator from Clinton, Senator Hart, and the senator from Washington, Senator Griner, on the part of the Senate. The representative from Polk, Representative Hagenow, the representative from Madison, Representative Gustafson, and the representative from Polk, Representative Meyer, on the part of the House. Will the committee please retire and perform its duty? The chair recognizes the senator from Potawatomi, Senator Gronstal.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that a committee of 6, 3 members from the Senate, 3 members from the House, be appointed to notify Chief Justice Cady the joint convention is ready to receive him.
You have heard the motion of the senator from Potawatomi, Senator Gronstal. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. The motion prevails, and the chair announces the appointment of the senator from Lynn, Senator Hogue, the senator from Des Moines, Senator Courtney, and the senator from Polk, Senator Schneider, on the part of the Senate. The representative from Buena Vista, Representative Wortham, the representative from Clay, Representative Hess, and the representative from Clinton, Representative Wolf, on the part of the House. Will the committee retire and perform its duty? The chair recognizes the Sergeant of Arms.
Madam President, the Secretary of State, Matthew Schultz, Secretary of Agriculture, Land and Stewardship, Bill Northey, Treasurer of the State, Mike Fitzgerald, State Auditor, Mary Mosselman, and the Attorney General, Tom Miller, have arrived in the House chamber.
Please escort the members of the Executive Council and the Attorney General to their seats. The chair recognizes the Sergeant of Arms.
Madam President, the Justices of the Supreme Court, the Chief Judge, and the Judges of the Courts of Appeals and the Chief Judges of the District Courts have arrived in the House chambers.
Please escort the Justices of the Supreme Court, the Chief Judge and Judges of the Court of Appeals, and the Chief Judges of the District Courts to their seats. The chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Madam President, the Chief Justice's wife, Rebecca of Fort Dodge, and his son and daughter-in-law, Spencer and Riley Cady, have arrived in the House chambers.
Please escort the Chief Justice's family to their seats. The chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Madam President, Lieutenant Governor Kim Reynolds has arrived in the House chambers.
Please escort Lieutenant Governor Reynolds to her seat. The chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Madam President, your committee to escort Governor Terry Branstad has arrived.
The committee will escort the Honorable Terry Branstad to the rostrum. The chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Madam President, your committee to notify and escort Chief Justice Cady has arrived.
The committee will escort the Honorable Mark S. Cady, Chief Justice of the Iowa Supreme Court, to the rostrum. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the Chief Justice of the Iowa Supreme Court, Mark S. Cady, to deliver the State of the Judiciary message. Please welcome Justice Cady. You'll do great.
Thank you once again. Thank you. Madam President, Mr. Speaker, distinguished members of this General Assembly, Governor Branstad, Lieutenant Governor Reynolds, state officials, justices and judges, family, friends, and all Iowans. While the holiday season has now passed, the memories left behind when families gather together continue to nourish and guide us today, and they'll be there for us tomorrow. For me, these memories now include the special joy of a granddaughter and the greater appreciation for the important values that are passed from parent to child and grandchild. One such value instilled in me by my parents was to lead a life of gratitude and to be quick to express gratitude to others. So, it is this morning that I begin my remarks on behalf of the entire judicial branch with two very important words. Thank you. Thank you to each member of this General Assembly and to our governor. We want you to know how much we appreciate the support and the cooperation that you have given us throughout the past year. This support has lifted our spirits to better reveal the possibilities of what can be and has brought into better focus the steps that we need to take to reach our goal of becoming the best court system in the nation. This morning, I am very pleased to share the progress that we have made in the judicial branch during the past year and to discuss the accomplishments that we need to make before we can be the best. I view this annual State of the Judiciary message as one of my most important duties as Chief Justice, and I appreciate the invitation from President Yoakum and Speaker Paulson. I invite each one of you to join the members of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals and our Chief Judges for a reception in our historic courtroom immediately following my remarks. Last year, I described for you 6 priorities for the judicial branch that were shaped from what Iowans have told us that they expect and that they need from their courts. These priorities continue to be protecting Iowa's children, providing full-time access to justice, operating an efficient, full-service court system, providing faster and less costly resolution of legal disputes, being open and transparent, and providing fair and impartial justice for all. With your support and cooperation, we continue to do these things every day for more and more islands. And I would just like to address each priority. We have strengthened Iowa's commitment to juvenile justice by adding 13 juvenile court officers across the state. This action has improved our ability to meet face-to-face with children who have engaged in delinquent behavior. Meaningful court intervention guides these children towards productive lives as adults, and it saves taxpayers the costs of paying for future incarceration or for treatment for more serious conditions that too often occur without such intervention. Last year, I described for you the frustrations of our juvenile court officers across the state who were unable to meet face-to-face with children in trouble. This year, with the additional juvenile court officers and the continued use of evidence-based practices, we have replaced the frustration with a renewed enthusiasm. Gary Niles, the chief juvenile court officer in Northwest Iowa, told me that with the additional staff, his team is now able to meet personally with and assist each troubled youth who enters into the juvenile system in his district. This interaction allows juvenile court officers to better discover the root cause of negative behavior and to introduce the positive influences into the life of a child at the time it is needed the most and at the time it can do the most good. We know what works to help children at risk. And we also know that the goal of protecting Iowa's children is within our reach. And we know what it would mean for Iowa's future to achieve this goal. We are committed, this branch is committed in every individual case to breaking the cycle of juvenile delinquency that leads to broken homes and adult incarceration. Thank you. Thank you. Equal access to justice for all begins with a full-time justice system open to all. Consistent with the goal of providing full-time access to justice, last September we were able to reopen every clerk of court office in every county courthouse on a full-time basis. These offices were closed to full-time public access for the past 4 years. But with your support, once again, our courthouse doors are open to all. As you know, an important part of our efforts to improve access to justice and to operate an efficient full-service court system is EDMS, our electronic management document system. Last year, we were able to expand our paperless court system into 28 additional counties, and EDMS is now operational in 43 counties. The results have exceeded our expectations. The Herculean efforts of Ken Bozier, our Director of Information Technology, and his very talented team have given more and more court users, including law enforcement officers, Department of Human Services, and hospitals, just to name a few, secure, prompt, and easy access to judges, court records, and our court system. Within 2 years, this project will be complete, and Iowa will be a national leader and a model of efficiency with the first totally paperless court system in the country. Thank you. Last year, we introduced business courts. This court is a pilot project led by 3 judges, highly skilled in business litigation. The initial business court judges are Judge Mike Huppert of Des Moines, Judge Annette Zazinski of Albia, and Judge John Tulene of Davenport. Businesses with legal disputes are now taking advantage of the innovative and efficient processes offered by this specialty court. We strengthen the entire court system when we are able to leverage the expertise of our district courts with targeted innovations like business courts. The business court will help make Iowa even a better place to create and expand business opportunities. This past year, the Iowa Supreme Court began to develop a new litigation track for civil cases filed in district court where the amount in controversy is less than $75,000. This litigation track is designed to schedule a trial within 1 year. Reduced costs and greater court efficiencies for litigants will be achieved through streamlined discovery and trial processes. And we are currently seeking the input from the public to ensure that this project will be a success. And I invite each one of you to go on our website to read the details of this proposal. This new approach to litigation, we think, offers much greater access to justice for Iowans with legitimate claims and defenses that were not always available or always considered to be cost-effective to pursue in our traditional court system. We also consider our continuing work to be the most open and transparent court system possible. Iowans deserve to know about their courts, and we have taken major steps to maintaining our role as a national leader in media access to our courts by proposing new expanded media coverage rules. These rules are consistent with the approach that has served this state so well for the last 35 years. The proposed rules would accommodate new forms of communication, social media, and media forums. In fact, last year, a reporter for the first time sent a live tweet from the courtroom of the Iowa Supreme Court during our oral arguments. And I can report to you, just for historical accuracy, that the first word tweeted was bedbugs. A term with no legal meaning, but it was very descriptive of the case that we heard. To enhance Iowa's understanding of the courts and to better understand the expectations and the needs of Iowans, we continue our outreach efforts across the state. Last year, the Supreme Court was back on the road to hear oral arguments in 4 communities across Iowa. We visited Sioux City, Dubuque, Fort Dodge, and Burlington. The Supreme Court benefits from these travels by talking to Iowans and student groups about the value of our government, including our court system. And many of you have taken advantage to stop by and see us at these events and to talk with us afterwards, and we thank you for that. The court will visit Clarinda and Toledo this spring, so just a heads up to you, Senator Ernst and Senator Sodders and Representatives Dolacek and Representative Fisher, we are coming your way. I will also continue, as I have in the past, to maintain office hours here in your building during your legislative session, and I invite each one of you to stop in and see me. My door is always open, and if for some reason I can't be there, another member of the Supreme Court will. Now, let me reflect on our priority of providing fair and impartial justice equally to all persons. Justice is and has always been our most important goal. Every year, hundreds of thousands of Iowans turn to their courts to seek resolution of disputes. And every day, judges from this state work hard to apply your laws with impartiality, with honesty, and with integrity. Every judge in this state maintains a profound commitment to justice and a genuine respect for the people of Iowa, which will be found at the heart of every decision we make. Our fair and impartial courts have given Iowa a proud history of justice and will ensure a proud future. We have taken important steps to promote these 6 priorities during the past year, and we continue to search for new and innovative ways to meet the needs and expectations of Iowans. We have learned that by creating partnerships between courts and communities is an effective way to address the core problems and to understand the core problems that's responsible for many crimes and broken families. These partnerships have created new and innovative courts, such as drug courts, mental health courts, and family treatment courts. These courts work with community professionals to empower people to break free from the grip of substance abuse or other problems and to take control of their future. While some may consider judges in these courts as working outside of their traditional role, the results of these courts from around the country and here at home show that these partnerships improve lives and save taxpayer dollars otherwise spent on incarceration. These are the results that Iowa wants, that Iowans want, and they could not be more compatible with justice. As a district associate judge 30 years ago, I presided over termination of parental rights cases, and I saw firsthand how addictions destroy families. Like our juvenile judges today, I'm also very aware of the tragic cycle created by destructive conduct by parents when imprinted on their children, and then is repeated when those children become parents. These problems are not new, but they are in need of a new solution. Our family treatment courts offer much promise as a part of this new solution. They work with a community treatment team of human service workers, substance abuse counselors, mental health providers, and many more to help parents overcome their addictions and to assume responsibility in their life. I would like to share just one story of the success that we have achieved in our family treatment court by using the compelling words of a 14-year-old boy written in a letter to his mother on the eve of her graduation from a family treatment court. Her mother entered this court feeling, in her words, hopeless, unwanted, and totally broken. Her son wrote, "Mom, I'm very proud of you. Together, you and I have come pretty far. I remember many times at night when I would stay up praying and wishing you would stop drinking. Pretty soon I gave up. I didn't think you were ever going to stop. I will never forget the night you passed out drunk on the couch with a cigarette in your hand. Lizzie, his baby sister, was hungry, and we had no food for her to eat. She was very tired, and I was too. But I knew that I couldn't fall asleep because I had to keep an eye on you and make sure you were okay." This brave young man continued, "But that's all over now. You are a completely changed woman. You have become the mom I have always wanted. I love that you are devoted and willing to change to become the sober, loving, and caring mother you are today. I love you, Mom, and no matter what happens, I will be here for you." We too were there for his mother and for this child. And she left this program. She left this program with her children at her side, safely at her side, and with the promise of a productive life ahead. With your help, we can be there for more parents and more children in their time of crisis. We must give life to the hope of every child. Success comes one family, one parent, one child at a time. And family treatment courts can reunite broken families and create a better Iowa for all of us. In Wapello County, juvenile judge William Owens achieved national recognition last year for his success in his community's family treatment court. As a longtime juvenile judge, Judge Owens was frustrated by the number of parents suffering from substance abuse who would appear in his courtroom on termination of parental rights. The number of hearings in his courtroom was increasing each year. So in 2006, Judge Owens began working with members of his community to create a family treatment court. Before starting this family treatment court, Judge Owens saw an average of 24 parent terminations each year. That number has now dropped to 10. And I can't help but think that this number will only continue to drop. And I can't help but think what that will do to reveal more and more stories from the diminished numbers that we see. The Wapello County Family Treatment Court is now one of 6 federally funded Iowa Family Treatment Court pilot sites in our state. Since the Family Treatment Court pilot project began, 463 families, composed of 549 parents and almost 900 children, have participated in the program as of March of last year. As a result, 80% of the children have been able to remain in the custody of a parent or a caregiver, and 95% of the children did not suffer a reoccurrence of abuse or neglect. 95%. And let me just add that these 6 pilot courts have saved taxpayers $3.5 million. Now, one problem that we face today is that our family treatment courts are just sprinkled across the state and can only help a fraction of Iowa's troubled children and at-risk children. Additionally, the federal funding for these pilot projects expires this summer. But even as our federal funds are running out, more and more people are asking us to expand family treatment courts into their communities. Family services of such critical importance should not be limited to only a handful of communities. All Iowans will benefit from a systematic statewide implementation of family treatment courts, and this is what we should do. By working together for a better Iowa, we can and we must do our best to end this tragic cycle of broken families and broken lives. During the past year, we have made progress towards reaching our goal to be the best court system in the nation. As we travel across the state, we see this progress through the work of our dedicated, skilled, and experienced judges. We witness this progress when we meet with our committed staff and administrators, and we hear of the progress from Iowans who come to meet us when we visit their communities. And what we hear most is simply, keep up the good work. And to you, and to all Iowans, I promise you, we will. We will. And we will reach our goal of eliminating all unnecessary delays in our court system so that the time needed for courts to resolve disputes will only be the time needed to render a fair and just result. Justice can only be delivered with the greatest amount of care and the greatest amount of attention, but it can never be fully delivered when it is accompanied by unnecessary delay. Only then can we be the best? We will take necessary steps to continue to attract the best and the brightest attorneys of our state to serve as judges. And we will work with you to build Iowa's judiciary so that all aspects of the job of a judge, including compensation, will appeal to all lawyers to enable us to keep our devoted and experienced judges. Iowa must maintain the high quality of its judiciary, a judiciary that is enhanced by greater gender and racial diversity. We are strongest when attorneys from all backgrounds, from both public and private sectors, aspire to be judges. Only then can we be the best. We will work with you, as well as law enforcement, schools, and many others, to find practical solutions to eliminate racial disparity in our criminal justice system. Today, there is a disproportionate number of African Americans in Iowa's correction system. This is a problem that we must all address. It is a community problem that requires a community solution, and all three branches of government working together in each community. We can and we must do better as a state to address all inequities in our criminal justice system, because only then can we be the best. And finally, we will listen and respond to the requests of Iowans to improve their court system. And in the same way, we will continue to work with you on those problems that we need to solve together. We must solve every problem. We must reach every goal before our court system can be the best. We must continue our spirit of cooperation and support so that the problems that we tackle in the future will only be those problems that we cannot yet see. Only then can we be the best. So, in so many ways, our progress comes from the power of support and cooperation. Our goals can be achieved through this power of support and cooperation. And together, this power is what will enable us to build the best court system in the nation. What a profound and wonderful legacy for our children and grandchildren. As my mom would remind me, where there is a will, there is a way. We have both. And by working together, our state will shine as bright as the dome over this magnificent building. And we will be our best. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Will the committee to escort Chief Justice please come forward and escort Chief Justice Cady and his family from the House chamber?
I'll get that for you. You don't need to carry it.
Will the committee to escort the governor please come forward and escort Governor Branstad and Lieutenant Governor Reynolds from the House chamber? The chair recognizes the representative from Cerro Gordo, Representative Uppmeyer.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the joint convention be dissolved.
You have heard the motion of the representative from Cerro Gordo, Representative Uppmeyer. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. The motion prevails and the joint convention is dissolved. That thing wants to...
Thank you, Pam.